Alright, I'm gonna wait a little bit. Ooh, alright. Hello everyone. We are going to do a special thing today because I wanted to live stream. I'm going to do another live stream later on, but essentially what I'm doing right now is a live stream on how to draw Hec by OC. And I figured why not make it fun if you can actually, if you're going to be following along and drawing with, if you can go to my tag right here on Instagram at hec_Kito Katsu. It's also on my YouTube channel. You can tag me on it, and I will. I'll make like a whole separate video so that you can, show off everyone's good stuff, and I'll tag you back and stuff like that. Anyway, we're gonna learn how to draw, or at least like the characters that I make. So Hec at this point is my own OC. It was a replica of me when I had crazy hair, but that's all different now. That's all changed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a circle, alright? Because this is going to help me further events. Awesome. Now I want to determine which way is he facing. I want him, because this is just an example of him like kind of looking forward in a chibi situation. I always do chibis just because they're way easier. I want him to be looking up. So his like middle of his face is going to be to the side. It's this like side profile. And then I want like him to be looking up. So this is kind of like the middle of his face. So his nose would kind of start here. I know he's a baby, so I guess we don't have to add his nose. But if we were doing it, I typically put it right there. Hec has got like rounded eyes, like so, as you can see. So his eyes would start here, then another one, and because they're looking up, kind of like I won't finish the circle. I will actually make them as if they're like almost halfway, like inside his head, because he's like looking up, right? Yeah. Oh, by the way, the chat's on. I should probably like make that a thing. Sub Hector, yo, what's going on, bro? Sweet, I can definitely see the chat now. So he's looking up now, as you can see right here, right there. And then, so he's got this famous, like, crazy wild hair. But first, we're going to put the ear where it needs to be. Bam. And then we're going to have another ear, because you can still see it. He's got pretty big ears. Finish the rest of the face. Bam. Awesome. So that's how, that's his bottom half. So let's make him like look surprised. So he's like, kind of like give him this kind of like weird look. Give him some teeth, right? And then like give him his tongue. Yeah, so he's like, whoa, okay. So his hair, for his bangs, as you can see, his bangs are a little crazy. So we always have this one bang, like right in front of the eyes. Then there's two off to the side. And then depending on how he's looking, because this is just kind of a simple, like, oh, he pulls it back and it's very, his bangs kind of go forward. Over here on this side, he likes to push the left of his hair kind of like outwards like this. So that way he can Like, I don't know, it's just a stylish choice. Give him his ears. So as you can see on this side, he's got like this indent, which is kind of like the curve of his like head, which is actually in the back here. So let's give him this first like part of his like star shape. And then this part right here. Bam, right? And then the rest of his bang. We're probably going to come back and fix that. Bam, bam, bam. So right here, we're going to fix this. Because this part of the hair is where I want it to be. We're going to erase this. Sorry, arrow. We're going to move this up. Like right here. Bam. So now, because his hair, he's in 3D, with his hair like this, we're going to make it as if it's bulging out. Give it this. He's got like two little sides at his hair that he pushes forward, and over here the rest of his bangs. Because this is all together, but for a stylish choice, I actually just like push it. These two are technically just one bang, or one part of the bang just split in half. I'm drawing different like positions for him, just because like I'm so used to drawing him. I've drawn him for many years. Give him some blush. And we'll give this one like a little nose. I usually draw like a shadow of the nose, so that way people will be like, oh. He actually has like these like thick eyebrows that look like this. They're all like straight and then they curve. Yeah. And I don't know if you guys have looked at me up close, but I actually have a scar on my right eyebrow right here that I usually draw in as well. Sometimes I forget, but I definitely have that scar there. And I give them little like eyelids, just little ones, as you can see. That's how you would draw that right here. Now that's him looking up. Let's have him in a neutral position, just straight up, standing straight, looking forward. Drawing a circle one more time. This is the base. We'll just have a straight line going up and to the side, like straight up in the middle of that. Bam, like this, right? So we're gonna draw his eyes. Bam, bam. They look like hooks almost. Little eyelids. Give him the eyebrows, signature eyebrows. And then we'll have him, yeah, like this. I'll show you the way how we draw eyes, or how I draw eyes here in a little bit. That's typically how it's done, right? Give him a little smile. It's funny because I actually never draw him with a smile. I always draw him like neutral, like kind of like standard I'm upset face. Give him that one bang, straight up through the middle. 1, 2, dash. A lot of loose hairs. Ear, oops. And then we'll kind of like cut off the bottom because he is a chibi after all. Make him shorter. Do the first. Yeah. See, I'm so used to this. Give him some blush. Good. If you want, you can give him a nose. It looks like that. See, with a pen, if you grab a pen here, what we can do is draw this in pen, which is the outline. If you're like, oh, I wanted to stop at a different position, you can always just change it with the pen. You don't have to go through. Yeah, this is where you do your outline. Now let's see. Typically when I draw, I don't like things going through the eyes. So I kind of like weirdly cut them. So we'll do the eyebrows. Wow, I'm like, my hands are shaky. I drank a lot of coffee before this. Trying to like getting myself prepared. One, two. See how I stopped with that? One, two, three. One, two. Yeah. See, now this is how you're about to do the eyes. Every time we have the eyes, we are going to, like for this example, draw a really big eye. For a perfect example, that's how I typically do my eyes. Probably hard to see because they're so faint, so I'm going to darken it. I'm going to do is I'm going to put a circle right here and then put a line right here. So this identifies like the color of your actual eye, and this is like light that's progressing through the room that your eye is reflecting. So what we're going to do is we're going to color in black everything that's not that circle or that line or past that line. And now if we erase like any extra lines like that, what was inside the circle, it looks like this, which actually looks pretty cool. So we're going to do that when it comes to hec right here. One, two. One, two. Oh, I just gotta, someone sent me a post, but it's like a funny meme. Let's see, color that, bam, that's good. Color this, bam. Bam, bam. Sweet. And it looks good. I usually draw this like, boop. This like half circle with this crazy loop that identifies like what an ear is. So I'm gonna wait for this to dry because this pen's a little runny. To erase the rest of the outline. But we're gonna start with this one too. As you see, I'm not really sticking with the lead so much. Let's say I do this a little bit more professional, because this is really toony the way the eyebrows are sticking out of the hair and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually draw the hair first, because that's something you would see if it's over the eyes. Yeah. Bam, bam, bam. And then get the eyeballs. Bam, bam. See, because you can see bangs. People with bangs can totally scientifically see through them. Now it looks like he's just like in fear. He's like, what the heck? Oh my god. Kind of looks like his eye is like a little shifted, so I'm going to add some like a little like effect so it looks more normal, more natural. And that's how it would look like. So yeah, we got these like the way these faces look. That's what Hector looks like. That's what Hec looks like, I should say. And that's how it would go. Of course, chibis have like square bodies because you would draw a circle, and then underneath that circle, typically you would draw this as the same size as the circle, like a rectangle or like a square, to identify how big the body would be. So I usually do things as like a hexagon. No, not a hexagon. I'm sorry, a trapezoid. Yeah. Where the smaller part is where the circle is, and down below it is the wider part, because the longer side is going to determine where the legs are, and the other part is going to determine like the neck and where your shoulders would be. Right now, just for the sake of being lazy, I'm putting them inside a hoodie jacket so I don't have to draw hands, because hands are hard. Bam, bam. Yeah. Gonna draw him like this. This is kind of like I guess, a retro chibi. Throughout the years, chibis have changed a lot. Of course, if you watch anime, like, it doesn't seem like that, but here in America, where people cannot draw like that on a daily, because those guys have to go to college to, like, learn the perfect proportions and then go to whatever company they're going to, and then learn how they want you to do chibis, because that already sucks as it is. They I don't know if anyone knows about that either, because I had a conversation with that with a someone of the youth not that long ago. Sorry for bumping the mic. She said her dream was to become an animator and work in Japan, and I kind of didn't dodge a bullet. I was with her family, but I was a little rude. But I was trying to make sure if that's exactly what she was getting into, like if she knew exactly what she was getting into, which was being an animator in Japan is not only the least paying job ever in Japan, and it still is, but also like your hours are going to be crazy, like it's gonna suck. So she was like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, like that alone is a big turn off," and it turned her off. She was like, "No, I don't want that." And I was like, well, I mean, she didn't sign any. I mean, well, yeah, actually, she is actually a relatively. She is a good artist, actually. Not relatively, she is a good artist. The only thing was, she wanted to be an animator, but then realized that in Japan, it's a little like not viable. But it's possible. It's definitely possible. Uh, but it's just sad, is all. Um, when you are, for anyone who's interested, when it comes to animating, like, you have to, one, learn how to draw, two, learn how to mimic other people's art styles, and then you have to learn not only key poses, which essentially this is what this is. We, like, as artists, as comic book artists, as like anything, we draw like the main focus of what our characters are doing. So if I was drawing a comic strip of my character being surprised, it would go from her, wow, I don't know what that was. It would go from my character being not surprised to them being like, like this, you know, very simple. Like he is, oh no, I don't like this. But if we were animating this, if we were animating these two together, I would have to draw these in-betweens, where suddenly their eyes would shift and see something that would scare them, and then their face would contort to this, which is essentially what animating is. It's grabbing something and then giving it life, making it move, which also turns people off, because that itself can take a very long time, and really that's just 1 to 2 seconds worth of animation, um, and it's very time consuming, and there will be a lot of editing on top of that. And if you want, you can color it, which adds more time but makes it look a little bit more pretty. But that itself completely depends on the person. I've spent 6 hours on a 22-second animation. That was really just two people talking. It was a Game Grumps animated that I did, and it was fun and cool. And actually, when I look back at it, I'm like, this was neat. But it hurts because, like, I look at it, I'm like, I spent a lot of time on that, and but I don't regret that. That's very important. If you're going to regret something, then you might as well not have done it. Really think about it. But yeah, so we have this, we have this, we have this. Man, my throat is getting dry. So this is kind of like what we're doing. So remember, it's relatively, you still have this, like, even though there's a lot of sticking out parts, my character is pretty much made up of circles and squares, mainly circles though, to kind of identify like wanting to be like wholesome. Of course, you can always look back at the last live stream that I did when I talked about that. All the spiking out, all the jagged parts of him do symbolize something else, which is literally like kind of like, even though his hair is fluffy, it's all like over the place, to explain how manic or crazy it can be, just being Hec. Because when you're Hec, everything's a little hectic. I'm not gonna lie. Let's see. I think that might be it. Yeah, so what I'm gonna do is I'm now going to erase. See if any of this stuff is wet still. Okay. I'm going to, yep, still a little wet, and it takes a little bit of eraser to figure it out. This is disappointing. Alright, let's erase all the outline, or what would you call it? I don't know. The base, I should say. That sounds right. So I know there's still a little bit of lead on it, but essentially our character came out looking like this after all those squares and stuff, which is cool, actually. Now let's erase this and see how detailed it is. As you can see, I actually forgot to do the ears, like the inside of the ears, which we can easily just do now. Working with pencil and pen, you actually have the ability to like do crazy shading and stuff like that. So, I mean, that's something I want to do. Because if I really want to, I could be like, ooh, shading, like, right here. You know? And then, I could add, because I usually do this to, like, identify color. Because I'm too lazy to color or shade, really. Ooh, yeah. guys see it? Yeah, there it is. This one right here. Pretty cool. I like it. And then this little guy, this little chibi right over here. Aw, yeah. Look how cute he is. Look at how cute he is right there. Let's draw like the end of his shoulder. The other part of his hoodie. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, this looks good. I was gonna give him a backpack, but I was like, nah. Okay. So that's all good. All fine and dandy. That's how you would draw, like, essentially my character, but you can use those bases for any characters, really. You can always change up the hair or the eyes. The bases, the whole circle thing is really just for you to get a grasp on the, like, where eyes would go, where the nose would go. But again, those can change, and you can actually change that to however you want. How to make bodies are a little bit different. That's actually why I like making chibis, because you can change the body up however you want. Yeah, see? Like, just this alone. Like, I have a circle, his, like, whole body, and then his legs just sticking out. So if I wanted to, I could put one on his waist, right? And then I can, like, loop it. Woo! And then he could be, like, holding, like, a coffee mug or something, which makes it easy, like, way easy. You don't have to draw hands. And God knows that's difficult. How do you even draw hands? Gotta, like, draw a square. Yeah. Draw, like, as the same size of the square. Like that. And then, what's a pinky look like? Like this. And then, like, a thumb. It's like this. Yeah. But if you're going to draw it to the side. Oh, and to further that story, I don't know what she's doing. I think she's doing well for herself. The girl I was just referencing. But, but I think she might be on to, like, a different career. Not to say that I did my job messing that up. Because I honestly, if I want, like, if she wanted to be an artist, just like anything, if you want to be something, let it, like, let your hatred or let your fears, like, not control you. Pass through it, right? If you're like, dude, like, I'm trying to be an artist, but anything you're trying to achieve isn't going to be easy, and on top of that, it's going to be worse depending on where you're about to head. Being an artist in Japan is a little bit tiresome, but if it's your dream, you can do it. People in Ghibli do it all the time, and they still live, they still eat. Um, People working for Toho Animation still do it, and they do it really well. In fact, they also have colleges for their own, like, new hires to go through, almost as like a, you need to know our stuff so that way we can put you on actual, like, animes to work on, which is crazy awesome. But yeah, so, like, let that help you. Wow, I'm, like, the worst at drawing hands. But this is why I'm, like, doing a live stream right now, so I can practice. See, like, look how complicated this crap is. You see that? You see this? It's hard. It's difficult. When on a chibi, you can just draw them like triangles. I mean, it looks kind of dumb, and it might, like, look like a geese, like a goose, but it's a hand that you can easily put on, like that, an elbow, another person. Like, look at that. Look how simple I made that into a thing. Can you even see that? Yeah, you can. And then I push it, like, I give it like a neck. Then like that chibi face. And if it's me, then there's like all this hair. I kind of look like Bakugo, but whatever. Well, I actually straight up look like Bakugo. Okay, so maybe this is a left hand now. I want it to be a right hand, but whatever. Give him some sleeves. Yeah, see how easy that was when you're doing stuff like this. Of course, this is like beating around the bush and cheating, but obviously, like this will get you somewhere, especially if you know the basics. Because on this, you can build upon it, and then slowly work yourself up to like actual like more detailed stuff, much like so. Although this is very simple and some would say cute, you can make it more detailed, add more chibi. Like, of course, from this to this to this, because after you draw something so much, you can just freehand it, just like how I did that. I didn't need to draw squares or stuff like that. I just knew, because I just saw it in my like my mind, I guess. So yeah, you guys, this was fun. This was really cool. Of course, if you were like, oh, I want to draw and do that, follow those instructions and try to send me your own little heck. Cause that'll be fun. Uh, my next Draw My OC live stream will be about a different OC, maybe Helena. That'll be fun. But that'll be next time. I'm going to go now and actually do a recording, or at least try, from yesterday's live stream for the storyboarding of the animation that I want to do. So I'm gonna try to do that. I'll catch you guys later. I hope you guys have a good one. Okay. Thank you so much for joining on in. Hope you guys have a great day. Bye bye, you guys.